I know we young rat. Work hard, you ain't tryna have fun, rat. The sun's shining, you cooped up. One more assignment, you like the angle, but not the light. And I might just, hell, I charge man 50. And if I see you every day, you never miss me. If you was on a wish list, you get a kidney. If you was on my hit list, I need a blick key, yeah. She been on the low, need to pick me up. Phone ringing, I swear you never pick me up. Summer's coming soon enough, need space for the two of us. She got me choosing up, it's 7 days in a weekend. But you know I look forward to the weekend.
Okay, so we're gonna start with some head tilts going up and down. Here we go. Now same thing, side to side. This is just to get your body fully prepped for the workout you are about to do. Ready for some head circles? Let's go. Now we're moving on to our shoulders. We're going single, single, double. Try and make the circles as big as possible, right up to your ears. A slight bend through the knee is going to help you really warm up the body. Now we're moving on to some hip rolls. Let's go, 4 on the right. And other way. Now slow figure of 8s. Now we're going to take things up a little bit and a slight ball change to the side. Follow along, really get into the groove of this music. Now we're going into a box step. You don't want to tire yourself out too much in this, just enough to get the blood pumping around your body and raise your heart rate just a tad. Back to the ball changes on side. Okay, now we're going to take it down, a full body stretch up and all the way down. Really make sure that you breathe. Deep breath in, release everything all the way down before we start with our ball changes to the side again. Here we go. Back to our box step with our 3 runs. For one last time, we're going to do our ball changes to the side. Next up, we've got a lot of cardio coming up, so if you need to grab a little drink, do that. We're about to get really physical. Okay, so starting with just simple pony trots, keeping the toes on the ground. Pad through the knees before we move on to some jumping jacks. Here we go. Okay, so with this, you want to take your arms right above your head and jump your feet out, but not too wide. Now we're going to do a little scissor combo.
I know we young rat. Work hard, you ain't tryna have fun, rat.
So one jumping jack and then scissor the legs.
You like the angle, but not the light. And I might just slide around. No, I'm cool with your march. Only kissing on me for my iPhone charge. But low girl, I charge man 50. And if I see you every day, you never miss me. If you was on.
Now we're moving on to some throwaways.
On my hit list, I need a blick key. She been on the
transfer the weight from side to side and really throw that arm in front of you.
Summer's coming soon enough. Need space for the two of us. She got me choosing up. 7 days in a weekend.
Back to jumping jacks. Here we go. Your heart rate should definitely be increasing now. You might be starting to get a little bit out of breath, but push through until the end of the warm-up. Now we're moving on just to some straight scissors.
Why should I and could I bring you in a piece like a Buddha? Only 7 days and I'm seeing you once. If my calendar's full, then I'm seeing you none. So when I hit you on a FaceTime,
make sure you're using your arms to help you get through this.
I won't see you in the daytime. And right now, sure you ain't trying to waste time. I can't lie for
Back to throwaways, here we go.
Do you think I know you got papers to hand in? I'll be killing them stages. See you on the other side with your Jason. Face it, blue tick left me on last. And even back then it was a 5-day pass. Got a dissertation, I know she got class. Play my cards right, then I know I got a chance.
Okay, now we're moving on to something called a 3-step.
In the mirror, twerk like you mean it. And my friends just hurt for no reason. So you might be shy when you meet them.
This is a great one for some coordination.
For the two of us, she got me choosing up.
And a good time to breathe if you're getting out of breath. Ready for some side bounce and slides. Make sure you keep breathing, guys. Jumping jacks, here we go.
Got uni on Tuesday, you kinda moody. I'm trying to hit, but you live with your roomie. Maybe one.
Now we're gonna do jump, jump, and a squat.
Wednesday, I know she got work. Mind on the books.
If you want to push yourself, try and get low in your squat like me. Leg bounce. Here we go. We go single, single, double. Single, single, double. Keep the legs bent and the back down. Back to a 3-step. Now we're going to pulse to the side. This is a nice chilled one. Make sure you're breathing. Just keep the legs and arms moving. Back to our jump, jump, squat. Go as low as you feel you can, but do try and push yourself, guys. With these squats, you want to make sure that your knees are over your toes. Don't let your knees roll in. On to crisscross, here we go. And scissor. You should definitely be feeling it now, but we're about to go into a nice stretch. Okay guys, so now we're gonna stretch all of the muscles out, starting with a side stretch. With this, you want to pretend that you're in between 2 walls, so your body is only going to the side and not tilting forward or backwards. Other side. You should feel this completely down the side of your ribs. Take it nice and slow. If you need to hold any of these stretches for longer than I am, that's cool. Now slowly rolling down through each vertebrae.
As long as you can show me a good time, I don't need
and swaying gently, just to release any tension. Now we're moving on to a calf stretch. So weight on the front leg, really keeping that back leg straight. Now we're going to transfer back. If you want to deepen the stretch, lift your heel like I am. If not, stick with what the girls are doing and keep the foot flat. Into a low lunge, really stretch out that hip flexor. Moving on to a quad stretch. Now we're just going to transfer over to the other side.
Just wanna dance, want a simple romance.
Remember, if you need to do these stretches for longer than we are, that is totally fine. Calf stretch on the other side. Moving back to a hamstring stretch, whichever version you want, either like me or like the girls are doing. Down into a lunge. Quad stretch, here we go. transfer back to the center. Now we're going to bend the legs here and stretch. Really stretch out those hamstrings. If you can get your hands flat on the floor, great. If not, don't worry about it. Just do what you can do. Now we're rolling up slowly.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause you and me won't last long.
And stretch up.
Just stay with me for a drink and show me a good
Now we're going to get moving. Just small bounces side to side.
I love you until I'm gone. But you only get
After this video, your body should be completely warmed up and ready for any other exercise you're going to do. Let's move on to a grapevine. Great job, guys. Hopefully I'll see you in another one really soon.
Ooh.